Lions at the 25. Right to the air is Huntley. That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time. Some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Lions at 2-1 now to start the campaign. They were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Here's Huntley. And connecting here with DJ Chark. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
To throw, Huntley. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Huntley to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From midfield, here's Locke. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
1st down, Seahawks.
Here's Locke. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Play action. Now it's Locke. He lets it fly for Lockett. And touchdown, Seattle. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. For Drew Lock coming out of Missouri, the one thing that scouts they loved was his arm strength, and we see why there. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Seahawks 7, Lions nothing. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. A man who played collegiately over in East Lansing. Here's Ken Walker. Deshaun Elliott up to make the play defensively.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'll have to keep carrying it, thank you.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal.
First and goal, Seattle.
Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
That pass caught. It's Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
It's a gain of 21 yards. That's good for the Lions. First down.
On first and 10, it's Robinson. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a second and 12 after the loss. Back to throw. Huntley. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris. On fourth down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And it'll be Seahawk football, first and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
They fake the handoff, now Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It got his man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks are starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Looking to throw. Huntley. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
A lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Robinson up the middle. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Back to throw. Huntley. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
5-yard gain on the play.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling him back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort. Turn it.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawksons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like, and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Seattle. 69 yards. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to add on to their first half lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Lions take over 1st and 10.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Penny, a first down carry, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, it's Walker. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Walker now at 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
2nd and 16. They run again with Walker. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Lock exits on 4th down as Seattle sends out Jason Myers. Myers' kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out.
Ready. Tempo.
And they take a knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1.
Jack Fox in formation for the Lions.
So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, Let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose.